Rio is round the corner, just 2 or 3 months away, the next big Earth Summit. And someone who is extremely fired up in advance of Rio is the UK's Environment Minister. We're honoured to have an address from the Right Honourable Caroline Spelman, the Secretary of State for the UK's Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. Mrs. Spelman.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Nisha, and good morning, everyone. Very impressive, 3,000 people in here and many more out there. I'm really delighted to be one of the government departments supporting this very important event. It's exciting, just 87 days now until the world will meet at the Rio+20 summit. And the outcome of that summit really matters. It matters to our environmental security, it matters to development, and it matters to economic prosperity. Now, we've come a long way since the original Earth Summit 20 years ago, and I think it's really important to acknowledge the work of all those who worked so hard 20 years ago to actually get sustainable development mainstreamed, not least by my friend and colleague, the Lord Howard of Lymm. Now, two decades on, it gives me real pride now to be involved in taking that work forward. In that time, we've seen huge advances in our understanding of the pressure we're putting this planet under, and in our understanding of the social and economic costs of what's happening. We know how much our behaviour today will affect the lives of those in decades to come and the lives of future generations. In the past few years, there have been the reports of the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment and of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Nicholas Stern's outstanding work showed us the economic costs of climate change, and the work of Pavan Sukhdev on the economic value of ecosystems. Here in the UK, the Foresight report on food and farming gave us compelling evidence that our current food system is simply not sustainable. And last year, the UK's National Ecosystem Assessment was published, the first of its kind in the world. So we have the evidence. We know the scale of the damage that is being done. And vitally, we know what needs to be done to start putting it right. There are some who say that in times of global economic uncertainty, perhaps we should put our environmental ambitions on the back burner. To that, I would say, in these uncertain times, it is all the more important that we deliver on our green goals. For countries around the world, being green and fixing the economy is not an either-or choice. The leading economies of tomorrow must be both green and growing. Because if we fail to protect our natural resources, we make a long-term economic growth impossible and put livelihoods at risk. There is a shared understanding of that, which is why we're going to aim high at Rio. Now, I'm not going there to pay lip service. I'm going there to get things done. We will call for an absolute commitment to inclusive green growth as the only way forward. We will argue for GDP plus, by which I mean the measurement of our natural and social capital to complement traditional indicators of growth and their use in our decision-making. And we will call for sustainable development goals to meet linked global challenges such as food, energy and water security. I always think this is a startling statistic. In just 13 years' time, there will be an extra billion people on this planet. And if you're looking for evidence of a planet under pressure, then you need look no further than that simple, telling statistic. That's why we are putting such strong emphasis on sustainable agriculture. And I welcome the work that the Prince of Wales' own International Sustainability Unit has undertaken to try and develop a toolkit to develop sustainable agriculture. Within my own department, we have commissioned a body of work specifically tasked with establishing how we can generate more food, but at less cost to the environment. I'm going to be arguing for the shift to sustainable agriculture to be one of the main areas to progress at Rio. But it isn't just agriculture where sustainability is essential. We want to see businesses across the board factoring sustainability into their balance sheets, and many already are. To be frank, the UK is well placed to push for these things. We've got a pretty good story to tell on the environment. The UK is leading the way on GDP+. In last week's budget, the Chancellor here announced that the renowned economist, Dieter Helm, will chair our new Natural Capital Committee, a powerful new body which will keep a constant watch on the state of our country's ecosystems and our natural resources. That committee will then advise the government. So we start making the case from a position of strength. And to make that case in Rio, I need the evidence base. And it is the evidence base developed over the past 20 years and exhibited here this week that will make the difference. I'm immensely proud of our science and research capabilities here in the UK. And in our scientific ranks, we have the brightest and best, not least our own chief scientist, Bob Watson. And all those involved in gathering and developing that evidence base should be in no doubt as to how much ministers value their work, rely on that work, and want to develop that work. We need to keep pushing the boundaries of knowledge and understanding. We need to join up the scientific disciplines, natural and social, to deal with linked challenges such as food, water, and energy security. And today, I can confirm we are launching a new National Ecosystems Assessment Programme. The original UK National Ecosystem Assessment recognised how important it is that local communities are able to influence how their natural environment is managed. One of the things that the next phase of the NEA programme will do is equip local communities to place a value on the natural environment on their doorsteps, so this value can be reflected in a wide range of local decisions. A key role of the NEA team will be to communicate that science. We need to get the knowledge and understanding out beyond the world of think tanks, ministries and green groups on to consumers, businesses, families and individuals who really care about it. Sustainable development is sometimes a rather unwieldy phrase, and for many, an unwieldy concept. Let's be frank, we've all seen it. Sometimes the mention of those two words makes people simply zone out. So we need to find a better way of communicating it. But it's not easy, because the challenges we face are not easy. They're difficult and complex. They range from making sure we have the resources for businesses like Apple to deliver successive generations of iPads through to making sure we have enough water to sustain the most basic needs of life. But as Bob Watson said last night, these challenges can be met, and the UK is getting ahead of the curve in meeting these challenges. Take the Darwin Initiative, for example, linking the loss of species and their habitats with the economic, social and health prospects of human beings, making the links and changing lives. There is a wealth of examples, but if I take one, the Kenyan wood carvers is a good case in point. Now, Kenyan wood carvers and their use of illegally logged hardwoods threatened their own long-term livelihoods, as well as the forests of global importance. Thanks to a Darwin project, the carvers are now using neem goodwood, which is sustainably grown and harvested by coastal farmers. The project has resulted in additional income for these farmers, over half of whom had been living in absolute poverty. So far, the Darwin Initiative, which was launched at the original Earth Summit, has provided £88 million to 762 projects in over 150 countries and changed thousands of lives. We will be supporting 33 new projects with funding of £8.5 million over the next 3 years. Now, examples like that leave me in no doubt that we're well placed to drive forward this agenda at Rio. And at Rio, we will make a compelling case for the need for action to offer real, tangible, evidence-based solutions. And we will need to prove we are more than equal to the challenges that lie ahead. I have no doubt we can, together. Now, I'd like to end by thanking the organisers for this timely conference, and to say what an honour it has been for me to be amongst such distinguished speakers. Leaders and thinkers from science, from business, and from civil society, all demonstrating the scale, complexity, and urgency of the challenges we face, and a clear, shared determination to bring a new partnership of environmental security and economic growth. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nisha.
Thank you. The honour is ours, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? The honour is ours. Caroline Spelman. And thank you for telling us about the UK's agenda in the run-up to Rio. And good luck at Rio.